It's your boy, YMDRP, back with another video. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video, liking the content, sharing the content, and helping me spread this RP message to the youth. I appreciate all the new subscribers, everyone that is keeping this channel afloat. Remember guys, YouTube is suppressing this channel, so what you can do is like the content and share the content in order for it to spread, because they are trying to keep this content hidden. They're trying to hide this message from young guys, from men that might be feeling lost, that might be feeling depressed. And the only way you can help spread and share this message is by engaging with the algorithm. And this story that I'm about to read to you guys, it relates perfectly to this. And one of the main reasons I started this channel is from a story similar to the one that I'll be reading from this Reddit post. It was sent from a Patreon subscriber. Shout out to you, my brother, that sent this in through Patreon. Love you, man. He's been a long time Patreon subscriber now. Remember, guys, if you want to send me any articles, any topics you want me to discuss, if you want behind the scenes exclusive content, you can join the Patreon. It also supports the channel because YouTube AdSense is not cutting it, especially if you're a content creator that dives into topics like I do. Anyways, guys, with no further ado, let's dive into this article from Reddit. Let's talk about it. All right, so the title is, and I won't put it on the screen because there are quite a few trigger words that might set off the algorithm and might get this video banned, so I'm just going to read it with a little bit of censorship. My ex ended himself after I cheated and left him. So I'm a horrible human being. This is the girl writing, all right? You don't need to remind me. I'm looking for help. Ways to stop my guilt, my shame, my grief. I really am responsible for a great person taking their own life. Now I don't want to live anymore either. My story. My ex and I were together for 17 years. We had a good relationship, tons of love, tons of affection. He was a great father to my then 3-year-old son. He raised and loved him like he was his own child. My ex was really the perfect spouse around the home, but he did suffer from a sort of social anxiety that always left me wanting more. That's an excuse. I've been taking antidepressants since I was 18. So it sounds like she came from a rough childhood, a rough upbringing. Something traumatic must have happened early on in life to this woman, which is what I tell you guys. Do not save her. She does not want to be saved, all right? Her past trauma, all her experiences that she went through in the past that she will tell you about, that is not your issue as a man. You don't deal with those things, all right? That is not your problem. Her problems will eventually become your problems if you let them. That's why I stay completely away from women like this that have issues like this, okay? I'm 46 now. A year ago, I stopped taking them for reasons I really can't explain. So she stopped taking her medication that she needed. And majority of women are on antidepressants or some sort of medication, all right? Whether they tell you or not, the vast majority of women are. I became severely depressed and started to resent my partner. At the same time, I met a coworker who I connected with immediately. Remember, guys, she said her husband had a sort of social anxiety. So I'm sure this coworker was probably an attractive guy and he had charisma. He was a flirt. He knew how to talk to women. And, you know, this is what I tell you guys. Women, you can never satisfy them because there's always something more with them, okay? You have to be socially savvy. You have to be handsome. You have to be tall. You have to make a certain income. You have to have potential. You have to have some sort of social status wherever you live. All these different things add up over time, and women do weigh out their options, all right? So if you're hitting on like only one of those, then that's still not going to cut it, because you need to be hitting on all. You have to almost be like the Jesus type figure to that woman, all right? Or close to it. We began a physical affair and we ended up falling in love. He was married and left his wife and 3 young children to be with me. I told my ex about the affair and ended our relationship. We had just bought a beautiful house, and the loss of his family, stepson, dream home, and the way I betrayed him just devastated him. Of course, that would devastate anyone. He took it really hard. A beautiful, confident man was reduced to a broken child overnight. He cried. He begged. He tried everything to get me to remember how much we were in love before my depression, but I couldn't turn my back on the love I felt for my new partner. I just didn't love my ex the way I loved my new partner. 6 months later, my ex took his life. The shock, the sorrow, the guilt I feel is overwhelming. Some days I can barely get out of bed. I have destroyed 2 families and caused someone I care deeply about to end their life. I didn't pull the trigger, but I pushed him to do it. I took everything from him and threw him away to be with someone else. I don't know what else to say. I'm a horrible human being and I don't know how I can move on or live anymore. Has anyone felt they actually caused someone to end their life? She's asking Reddit. I am in therapy twice a week, but I don't think it's helping. His last words to me were, I gave my life to you and you gave it away. I will never ever forgive you. Now he's gone and I am crying so hard as I write this. How can I go on? I never thought he would end his life. He was a beautiful 49-year-old man who I expected to just move on with his life. I didn't feel like I loved him anymore, or definitely not the same way I love my new partner. My ex's family hates me. My new partner's family hates me. I think my son hates me. I don't think I can go on. I really don't. How can I get through this? All right. And I will read just one of the other comments right beneath it, because I think that there's some helpful information in it. This is the #1 upvoted reply and response. My partner of 18 years left me for a rich socialite. We owned a home together. We never fought. We did everything together. We were the best of friends, and all of our friends were our friends, not his or mine. I was integrated into his family. When it happened, he was so cruel to me. Still to this day, I wonder what kind of person does this to their best friend they've spent half their life with. The gravity of that betrayal is often too much for me, and I've had life-ending thoughts. Even from time to time now, 2 years after the fact, I never wanted him back. I just wanted him to have some form of empathy and understanding of what he did to another human being. There were no repercussions on him, and he left me to clean up my emotional mess. I am a strong person. I've been through a significant amount in my life. I feel like that's the only thing that helped me get through all of this. It sounds like your ex didn't have that kind of support system inside himself built up, which is why I tell you guys, you must value yourself over anyone else, all right? You have to put yourself as #1, and that starts with the mindset. You have to mentally remind yourself of this every single day that you wake up, that you come first, okay? And people are going to call you selfish. People are going to say that that is a terrible way of thinking. But guys, ever since I put myself #1 in my life, I have noticed I've never thought I would be in this position in my life, all right? Genuinely, because I was always the person that would put other people before me. And now I'm sitting on almost 6 figures invested. I plan on becoming a millionaire within the next year and a half, and I'm continuing to just make improvements in my life day by day, because I decided to put myself first after always putting other people before myself. And I saw that that was getting me no return on my investment. So I gave up and I stopped. And the moment I started putting in as much effort that I used to pour into other people, into myself, that is when my life significantly improved. And I realized that I'm okay with people coming and going through my life, and that's just a phase of life. But one thing that will remain the same and consistent forever is my relationship with God and my relationship with and love for myself. So I'll read it again because I kind of went off on a tangent. It sounds like your ex didn't have that kind of support system inside himself built up, and that's not really your fault, but that this is a human being at the end of the day, and we all have our cracks and scars. No one is perfect. I can't offer any advice having not been on your side, but that I recognize that if I were to leave this earth, it's of my choice and not one that my partner can ever make for me. That gives him too much control over my happiness. But betrayal at that level is extremely difficult, and I really, truly hope you have changed whatever is inside you that could have caused you to do that. You can only move forward, okay? So this was a very difficult story to read, and it sounds to me like it was a legitimate story. This was posted about 10 months ago, but I had once again a subscriber, a Patreon supporter, wanting me to cover this. But for me personally, besides the points that I highlighted already in this video, one of the things that really stood out to me and that kind of triggered a memory was the reason I created this channel in the first place. One of the main reasons was because this kid I knew in high school that I was cool with, I had classes with, he was an athlete like myself. You know, he ended up taking his own life after he went to college because his high school sweetheart exposed him for having a little Johnson and she slept with a bunch of guys, and she would send him videos, you know, just to be spiteful. I don't know why. I have no idea why. She came from a mentally ill background, so to speak. She was on antidepressants in high school. She didn't grow up in the best situations. I think she might have been a foster care child. And, you know, just this guy was a strong-minded kid in high school, and he had a good head on his shoulders. He was a smart individual. But he put his power and his control, his whole life into a woman, okay? And whether you're a woman or a man, that is not healthy. And a lot of times we see this narrative being pushed in Hollywood and in the media and people you look up to, that you should put your life and your livelihood into your significant other or someone that you love, when that right there leads to the road of destruction and can lead you to possibly ending your life, like my friend, like this post that we just read. You must realize that no one is that important, that they should have control over your own life. Life is a gift, guys. You're not always going to be here on this earth, okay? You're not. I have that mindset every day. And it's kind of cynical, and sometimes I let it run off, and this is why I post videos, because I understand one day that the chapter's going to close, the book's going to close. We're going through chapters right now. What legacy do I want to leave behind? I can't leave behind a great legacy if I'm constantly worried about a significant other, how I make someone else feel. I have to constantly be worried about how I'm feeling, because when I feel my best, I perform the best, I'm able to leave behind the greatest impact I can, whether it's on this channel or whether it's in my day-to-day life. And I hope you guys feel the same way, because life's too short to be caught up in putting your trust and your hope and your dreams, your life, which is a gift, into another human being that's going to let you down, all right? And I know some of you guys come from a religious background, and a lot of you guys are simps just through the church, and this might sound very hedonistic, and I grew up in the church, so I can relate, but I'm telling you guys, put yourself number one. Never, ever consider ending yourself over anything that happens in this life. You are in control. You are in charge. God is in charge. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to put yourself number one in your mind every single day. This channel wouldn't be where it's at. My investment portfolio wouldn't be where it's at if I didn't have that drive, that determination to constantly just kick life's butt after it threw me a terrible hand of cards. It dealt me a terrible hand of cards early on, and I made terrible decisions with my life. But I was able to pull myself up from out of that terrible situation, those terrible situations, and me just being a simp. And I was able to create something awesome and amazing, and hopefully one day I can leave behind a legacy. That should be your goal. That should be your dreams. That should be your visions and aspirations moving forward. And I hope that this story motivates someone to do better, to be better, and to realize you must love yourself. Number one, okay? You must love yourself and your own happiness. And with that being said, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on the story. Maybe if you've been through something similar situation, you've heard of a similar situation in your own personal life, feel free to share it in the comment section below. This is a men's community where we can share ideas and bounce ideas off each other. I'm also trying to encourage you guys to just believe in yourself, number one, all right? And put yourself number one. So guys, I hope this helps someone out there. And before you click off the video, be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. To help spread my channel, YouTube is going to suppress my content moving forward, and the only way I can continue to grow is by you engaging with the algorithm and helping me spread this content. Love you all. Stay blessed, my brothers. Have a good one. Peace.